What is up, YouTube family? We are back at it one more again. Welcome to Quintessential Biz, where we talking everything essential to your business. So let's get right into it. One of the things that's been on my mind lately, some of the things, a lot of these videos I do are based off of conversations that I have with real live people that's really out here in these streets, people that's really dealing with the everyday struggle, right? It's important to stay in tune with the common people, the people that are, out here on the grind, out here struggling, no matter what levels we make it to in life, you always have to keep in mind that there's so many people out here with less than, so we're constantly on the grind, on the mission, constantly trying to level up, constantly trying to better ourselves, better our financial situation, trying to better our business, better our families and everything. So sometimes we get caught up in this bubble of just dealing with self and everything that's going on in our own world. But I love being able to go out and touch different people and have conversations with different people from all walks of life, because it keeps you grounded, it keeps you humble, and it keeps you knowledgeable about what's really going on out here in the world and out here in these streets. It's just like watching the news. Some people turn a blind eye to the news, and for many years I did too, because it's so depressing, and the same goes for when you out here in these streets. Like, I be in the hood every day and I be talking to people that's dealing with poverty every day, people that's making minimum wage every day, people that are dealing with all kinds of financial setbacks, financial issues. So there's two sides of the coin when it comes to that stuff. A lot of people in the Black community, in all communities really, but I can only speak on what I see, and most time I'm in the Black community. So, and I grew up in the Black community, so this is what I know the most. I can only speak on what I know and what I see, what I have experience with. So when I analyze the Black community, you see two sides of the coin. You see a lot of people that are dealing with these financial situations, dealing with poverty, dealing with lower class income, lower class situations, living in the ghetto, living in the projects. And you see people that are trying to build, but don't have opportunity, So what I try to do is I try to pass any knowledge I have on to people to kind of give them a push in the right direction, because I was there. I was in those same situations where I didn't know which way to turn, and I still be searching for stuff, it don't stop, but I can look back and see what these people are going through, and then try to give some kind of advice. Like, if I was in your shoes, what would I do? Because I was in your shoes. And it's like, what did I do? I didn't have anybody come and just grab me or come and tell me some of the things that I'm able to tell people now. I'm able to help people skip a lot of steps when it comes to which direction you can go into. I basically could look at anybody's situation and tell you what you should do next. Now when it comes to a bigger financial situation, if you above me in the financial realm, then that's above my pay grade. I'm trying to get to where you at, but I have a lot of experience in other things outside of money too. But as far as the financial situations, I'm able to look at somebody who's living in a hotel, or somebody who's sleeping on couches, or somebody who's trying to figure out what kind of profession they should chase after. I'm able to tell these people about what different trades are available, how to go and attain these different trades. They got schools for electrician, HVAC, barber school, all kinds of different things. And I love being able to talk to the people and just give advice. So this week I found myself in different conversations with people who are just having a hard time saving money. And when I talk to them, we start analyzing, where are you spending the most money? In almost every situation, you find people are struggling with money, but they aren't willing to give up certain vices. You see a lot of people that are making minimum wage, but they don't want to go get a second job, or they don't want to go get a skill to get a better job, right? I seen a dude today, 2 days ago, he was getting off of a minimum wage job, but he was talking about how he just spent $200 on these new shoes that just came out, these new Nikes that just dropped. And it's like, you complaining about your bills and financial situations, and you got your girl calling you a Uber, but you just went and spent $200 on some Nikes. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that where I try to talk to people and say, hey, you got to make certain sacrifices. You got to cut out certain vices. A lot of people eat out all the time. I know people that spend $1,000 a month just on restaurants. They got to eat out every weekend. And if that's what you want to do, that's cool. But understand that that's money coming out that could have been going into a savings account, that could be going into an IRA account, that could be going into investments, could be going into crypto, could be going into stocks. And one of the biggest things that I notice is that a lot of people don't have savings. It's a lot of people that don't have savings. And I can't emphasize how important that is. You hear a lot of people talking about investing. But how can you invest if you can't even save anything to invest? So it's so important to save, because when you're at the rock bottom financially, you can't even fathom trying to invest on anything because you don't have anything saved up yet. So what I try to talk to people about is saving first, getting a nest egg, getting some money in the bank so that when emergencies happen, you can handle these things. One of the most amazing things about money is it takes the pressure off. When people talk about, oh, money don't make you happy, well, money can help take the stress off, so that in turn can make you happy. If you have money in the bank, when your car breaks down, if your transmission go out and it costs $2,000 to get fixed, if you got money in the bank, you can pay that, no problem. You ain't got to borrow it from nobody. You ain't got to call mama. You ain't got to go take out a loan. You ain't got to go try to max out your credit card. You got money saved up in the bank. If mama need a bill paid, she could call you and get something paid for her. You know what I'm saying? If grandma calls, say she needs some groceries, if you got some savings saved up, you can handle that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what establishes you as a responsible adult and a prominent member of your family. You know what I'm saying? But if you just out here saying, fuck it, and you gonna spend, thousands of dollars every year on clothes and food and shoes and getting your hair done and your nails done and your feet done, then you got to deal with the ramifications of not having savings. Most people that don't have savings are spending their money on things that they don't really need. And sometimes you just got to say, fuck all that shit. And you just got to be a hermit. You got to go into a cave. You got to just disappear for a minute. You got to just not even show your face for like a year. You know what I'm saying? You got to save by any means necessary. If you ain't got no money saved up, you ain't going to be able to do nothing out here. You can't make no moves. You can't take no trip. You can't invest in nothing. If your children have an emergency, what you going to do when something happens? If you living from check to check to check, you constantly going to be scrambling. You constantly going to be stressed. You have to find a way to get some savings. I don't care if you got to sleep on somebody's couch and just pay the cheapest rent you could possibly pay for a whole year. If you got to rent a room out for a whole year, for 2 years to save up, you got to do it by any means necessary. Living from check to check to check is not going to cut it nowadays. You got to get 2 jobs. You got to do some kind of hustle. Don't do anything legal. I wouldn't suggest that. But most times when I analyze people's finances, they're spending money in all kind of different ways that is hindering them from saving money. You know, me and my wife, we rented basements for years. Years. Guess what? People thought we had to rent basements. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't care about what people thought. We weren't trying to keep up with the Joneses. See, that's a lot of y'all's problem. Y'all be trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that you could just disappear for a minute, stack up, you know what I'm saying, and blow. If you stacked up $500 a month and you had a partner that stacked up $500 a month, that's $1,000, right? And you disappeared and you just stay on the grind. You just cook at the house. You know what I'm saying? You don't buy nothing for self. You just sacrifice everything. Do for your kids, of course. But stack $1,000 a month. I don't care how you got to do it. You got 12 G's in just 1 year. Now, guess what? When you got that 12 G's, now when the transmission go out, you got 2 G's to cover that. Now you're down to 10. If you want to go to Bahamas, it costs 3 G's. Okay, now you're down to 7, right? If you had to pay some bills for somebody, you had to kick this out, kick that out, and you spend another $2,000, you down to 5 G's. But you still got 5 G's. That's a lot of money to people who just living from check to check. And look at all the things you were able to cover for other people and for your kids and for yourself as far as emergencies. And you were able to take a trip. See, a lot of people just be dependent on tax returns. But you get like 2, 3, 4, 5 G's in tax returns. And then you're going to blow it on paying credit cards off that you overspent for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Catching up on everything you needed to do, and then that money is gone. And then you back to check again. You got to get it to the point where you're saving monthly. I don't care if it's just $500. That's still $6,000 per year. Right? And then do that for a couple years so you could get to 12. Now when you're sitting on 12, now you can do some things. Now you can invest in stocks. Now you can get some crypto. Now you got some money that you can flex. You can flex a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You could take a trip. You can splurge a little bit. But it will never go empty if you're constantly saving every single month. Every purchase I make is based on my savings. It's been times before when I could have went and bought an exotic car. I could have went and got that Bentley. I could have went and got that 370Z. And when I analyzed it, I was like, okay, how much is that car note going to hurt my savings? I made enough money to be able to pay those things. But a lot of times it was going to cut my savings in half. And it was too close for comfort for me. I'm like, no, if I'm cutting my savings in half, then when emergency happens, I'm not saving as much as I want to be able to cover some of these things like trips and repairs and, just emergencies. You know what I'm saying? So I always put my savings first. And whatever I wanted personally came last. So the question you got to ask yourself is, are you here for yourself or are you here for the future? Till next time, we out. 100.